Mahela, despite losing the Test series 3-0, Sri Lanka has a different proposition when it comes to one days. How important is it for you to start off with a winning note?
Yeah, it's very important. I think we're disappointed with the Test series. Happy in patches with how we've come back in Sydney. So if we can try and keep a bit of momentum going that way, and obviously we've had about 8 changes into our squad, new guys coming in. So that brings freshness to the entire squad. So hopefully we've had a chat how we want to go about this series. So the first game becomes very important.
Playing at MCG, does that give you a sort of feeling that you are playing at home?
We do get a huge support in Melbourne, and the last few occasions that we played here, that definitely helped us to get some momentum in the one-day series. So definitely looking forward to tomorrow. I'm sure we'll get a great support, and the guys will enjoy that.
The top 3 for Australia are all going to be playing their first one-day international tomorrow. Do you think that's a good thing for you and something you can put some pressure on and exploit them?
Tough to say that, in the sense that they're pretty much in pretty good form. That's probably why they got the call up. So we need to make sure we're not complacent, thinking okay, they're inexperienced, but we just need to make sure that we see areas where we can exploit and try and execute some game plans and see whether we can get an early advantage. But we just need to make sure that we start well, and whether it'll be with the ball or with the bat, and have a good game.
Mahela, do you have a team picked at this stage?
We haven't finalized, but the 2 quicks who were had the niggles, Kulasekara and Eranga, both are pretty fit, both bowled yesterday. So we'll let them go through their bowling routines today, and make a call after that.
And just on the squad, the wider squad, Australia have said this is very much, they're looking to the next World Cup. Are Sri Lanka also sort of planning to that at this stage? And is this a squad that's been, got some players there who you want to look at ahead of the World Cup?
Yeah, I think it's a very a young squad. I think after the last World Cup as well, we've gone in that direction. When we came to Australia for the triangular as well last year, we had a very young team. Chandimal, Tirimana, all those guys are regulars in the one-day team. So going forward, you need to look at that. It's in about another 2 years' time. So all those guys will be looked at, and obviously the couple of young spinners we've bought in. Ajanta's coming back after an injury layout. Akila Dhananjaya is here as well, so those guys will get the exposure that they require to bowl in these wickets. So yes, definitely looking at developing a side for the next 4-5 years.
And just how important is the chance to play in Australian conditions ahead of you might not be back here to play before that?
No, it's very important. I think we had the opportunity to play Australia in the last 3 years consecutively. I think we came here 3 times now. So most of the guys have that opportunity. The guys who haven't had that opportunity, will be great for them, especially in different wickets, because every venue will provide us with a different surface, to be honest with you, and we need to adjust to those surfaces pretty quickly. So that will be a challenge, and the guys will learn from that.
Ajanta Mendes has done really well against Australia in limited overs games in the past. Do you still think Australia's batsmen are a bit suspect against high class spin? Is he someone who can exploit a few?
Well, obviously Ajanta is a class act, and he'll come in with a lot of confidence, knowing that he had a lot of success against them. But it's just another game of cricket. He has to deliver. We've got a lot of variations in our bowling lineup, so that's something that we will try and make use of to create some problems for that lineup. So it'll be a great series. I'm looking forward to that, and I think most of our spinners are looking forward to the opportunity of bowling in these conditions, and try and improve them, learn tricks, and see how they can become better bowlers outside Sri Lanka.
This will be your last series as captain as well. On a personal note, will that be an additional motivation to come up with a series win?
Yeah, it would be great. I think the last time we won a series here was under Kumar. I think when we came before the World Cup. So since then we've had a lot of success in Australia. The guys are really keen to try and finish this series off on a high note, hopefully. So it'll be great. I know I'm not putting any pressure on the boys on that aspect of it, just because it's my last series as captain. We just need to make sure that we hit our strides and get a good start and try and enjoy our cricket. That's the most important thing.
My apologies if you've already answered this question. Last time when you were here, there was a fair bit made of not a lot of fight in the Boxing Day test, rightly or wrongly. Is it something you've spoken about, just to fight everything out?
Yeah, I think from Boxing Day we moved on pretty well to Sydney, and we've shown a lot of spirit in how we wanted to face Australia. I thought we stood up in tactically and in situations we probably fell short in certain aspects. That's where we probably lost that Sydney test, but there was a lot of fight, and that's something that we've spoken about. So yeah, I think we move on from that MCG Boxing Day test match, and the 1 days, it's a good opportunity for us to start fresh. Melbourne is a pretty good hunting ground for us, so we just need to make sure that we start well tomorrow, whether it'll be with the bat or the ball, and try and keep that pressure going for the Australians.
In your own form, it looked like something clicked in Sydney there.
Yeah, I think I wanted to be a bit more aggressive in the Sydney Test match, and managed to get on top of the Aussie bowlers and try and carry on the way I wanted to. So yeah, I mean, sometimes you tend to change a few things in your approach, the way you think about, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But yeah, Sydney was a good example for me to realize how I wanted to go about in Australia.
What do you think of the difference in Australia's bowling lineups? Like they're pretty different from Test to one days, aren't they?
Yeah, I think the way they go about playing Test cricket and one day cricket is quite different, and they've got talented bowlers obviously in one day cricket, but it's about handling certain situations better as well. That happens to every team. So in one day cricket you need to be aggressive, you need to try and take wickets. I think that's the way to go about, and that's something that we are striving for as well, with all our variations and backing ourselves to do that. So I think that's something that everyone's trying to see how best they can do that.
Have you already been asked about Malinga?
No.
He's got people talking, he's got people rattled. Everyone's just amazed at what he's done in the Big Bash.
Yeah, I mean, Lasit's a fantastic asset for us, and the way he backs himself to do things, it's amazing. I mean, just his ability, but he works really hard at that. So yeah, he had a great start to the Australian summer with the Big Bash. Hopefully he can carry that on for us. But it's going to be tough for him. You're up against a pretty decent side, but last time he showed what a quality competitor he is. So he'll give everything he's got and see whether he can make a difference.
Has he got people bluffed?
I saw what Huss has written today in the papers and all that. So yeah, he's got people thinking. That's good. But it's good to know that people are thinking about it, obviously, and they'll probably expect those deliveries to come at them as well. So it's good, and but they have to handle it, not me.
But did you, because he didn't have a great World 2020, did you sort of worry then that you might be failing a bit? Have you beefed up the Aaron seems to be in the top of his life? So.
I think Lasith had a up and down T20. He had some fantastic games. I mean, he ran through the England lineup in Kandy when he took fifer. So that happens in T20 cricket. Sometimes it comes off, sometimes it doesn't. But like I said, we're not really depending on Lasith. We've got few other guys who've got that X factor in our lineup. So as long as one or the other clicks and gets the job done for us on the day, it makes real good sense. So Lasith on his day, if it gets going, he'll be a tough competitor because he's bowling at very tough times for us in the power plays up front, trying to pick up wickets, and then comes back at the end, and in between the power plays he bowls in crucial times. So he's got a lot of responsibility in this lineup, but he's delivered for us more often than not. So I'm not much concerned about how he's going about, and his attitude is pretty good. He's been healthy for us. He's been fit, playing a lot of cricket. So everything's been going pretty well.
So Warnie's been using him as the problem solver. Is that how you use him?
I've done that quite a few times as well. He always responds, trying picking up wickets, important times, because he's a strike bowler. That's how you want to use him as well, as a strike bowler. But I have other guys to fall back to as well. Some quality spinners and good one-day bowlers who's now matured to do that job for us. So we're trying to take more pressure off Lasith and let him enjoy his bowling and his cricket, because I think then he'll probably deliver more for us.
And the other bowler who's got real variety is Dhananjaya, the spinner. Is he someone who you think can be a real sort of mystery weapon, or is this more of a learning tour for him?
I think, we'll see how it goes. I think with Akila, we wanted him to come learn. If he gets an opportunity, we've got a lot of cricket, 7 matches. It's a lot of games. So hopefully, he get a bit of taste of Australia as well. We just want him to develop into a bowler that we want him to be, and this is a start of it, I guess. This is his first tour away from Sri Lanka, so be a good investment for us.
Australia are going to have to get a few overs out of David Hussey and Glenn Maxwell. Are they bowlers you think you can go after?
Yeah, I think especially with the new format, with the field restrictions and all that, that's something that we'll definitely look into. But it's not only that option, but yeah, that's something that you always try and capitalize. We played one tournament with the new regulations against New Zealand. There was just 3 one-days, so we've learned a little bit how you want to go about things. So it's about us try and implementing those things that we've learned in that tournament and see how we can improve, because all these new rules have come up just very shortly. So it's just we need to make sure that we fine tune and adapt ourselves for these rules so that we can develop for the next year.
Just lastly, where do you think 50 over cricket is at the moment? There doesn't seem to be a lot of excitement really about this series compared with perhaps the Big Bash that drew 46,000 to the MCG the other night.
Well, I think there've been a lot of cricket being played during the summer as well, and the West Indies are coming, so the Big Bash. But I think there's certainly a lot of interest in world cricket for the 50 over game, because it's exciting with the new rules and all that. So the 2020, the World Cup, all that is finished. So now the next big thing for everyone to look at is probably the next World Cup as well. So everyone will start building a team for that, and each and every game will be very important for all the countries, and especially with the new rules, how you want to adapt and how you can get an advantage going forward. So yeah, players, it'll be still exciting, trying to push yourself, but I think the fans will, once you play a few good games, I think they'll get into it. I think it's all about how the series is going to start and how exciting it's going to be. Well, I think we've got a real big appetite for 50 over cricket. I think that's something that drives the national team a lot. They enjoy their one-day cricket and T20 cricket a lot more than probably Test cricket. We don't get big crowds for our Test matches, but we get a fairly good crowd. But in one-day cricket, they definitely get behind the team. They have a very good time, and they enjoy their one-day cricket.